Let me tell you a story about a book that has sold over 65 million copies worldwide, has been translated into dozens of languages, and remains one of the most influential books ever written on personal and professional effectiveness. It was first published in 1989, but its lessons are more relevant today than ever before. In a world of constant distraction, endless notifications, and a culture that celebrates quick fixes and instant gratification, this book offers something radically different. It offers a compass. It offers a set of timeless principles that can guide you through the chaos and help you build a life of meaning, integrity, and lasting success. The book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and its author, Stephen Covey, didn't just write a self-help book. He wrote a manual for human greatness. Stephen Covey was born in 1932 in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was an athletic kid, but a serious hip injury in junior high school forced him to shift his focus to academics. He went on to earn a business degree from the University of Utah, an MBA from Harvard Business School, and a doctorate from Brigham Young University. He became a professor of organizational behavior and business management. But Covey wasn't just an academic. He was a deep thinker who was profoundly influenced by the great minds of history, including management guru Peter Drucker and psychologist Carl Rogers. He was also deeply influenced by his faith, but he had a unique ability to distill universal principles into a secular framework that could resonate with anyone, regardless of their background. In 1996, Time magazine named him one of the 25 most influential people in America. And he earned that recognition because he gave the world something that was desperately needed. Covey's central insight was that most self-help books are focused on the wrong thing. He called it the personality ethic. The personality ethic is all about surface-level techniques. It's about learning tricks to manipulate people, techniques to communicate more effectively, and quick fixes to make you more likable. It's about how you appear to others. But Covey argued that this approach is fundamentally flawed. It can give you short-term success, but it will never lead to sustainable, lasting effectiveness. Instead, he advocated for what he called the character ethic. The character ethic is about who you are at your core. It's about integrity, humility, courage, justice, and patience. It's about aligning your actions with timeless principles that are true regardless of the situation. Covey believed that true effectiveness comes from the inside out. You have to work on your character first, and the skills will follow. You have to change your paradigm, the way you see the world. Covey illustrates this with a powerful story. He recounts an experience on a subway where a father allowed his children to run wild, disturbing all the other passengers. Covey was frustrated and angry. He confronted the man, ready to tell him off. But then the man looked at him and explained that they had just left the hospital where the children's mother had died. In an instant, Covey's entire perspective shifted. The frustration vanished and was replaced by empathy. He saw the situation completely differently. That is a paradigm shift. That is what happens when you change the lens through which you view the world. Covey's 7 habits are designed to help you make that shift, to see the world through a lens of principles rather than a lens of emotions or circumstances. The 7 habits are organized along a maturity continuum. The first 3 habits are about achieving what Covey calls private victory. They are about moving from dependence to independence. The next 3 habits are about achieving public victory. They are about moving from independence to interdependence. And the seventh habit is about renewal, about maintaining and improving all the other habits. Habit 1 is be proactive. This is the most fundamental habit of all. Being proactive means taking responsibility for your own life. It means recognizing that between stimulus and response, you have the freedom to choose. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. Covey introduced the concept of the circle of influence and the circle of concern. The circle of concern includes all the things you worry about: the economy, the weather, what other people think of you. The circle of influence includes the things you can actually do something about. Proactive people focus their energy on their circle of influence. Reactive people focus on their circle of concern. The result is that proactive people expand their influence over time, while reactive people shrink it. Being proactive isn't just about taking action. It's about taking responsibility. It's about saying, I am the architect of my life. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind. This is the habit of personal leadership. Covey says that everything is created twice. There is a mental creation and a physical creation. You can't build a house without a blueprint. You can't write a book without an outline. And you can't live an effective life without a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Covey urges you to create a personal mission statement. What do you want your life to stand for? What are your deepest values? What kind of person do you want to be? When you begin with the end in mind, you ensure that every action you take is aligned with your ultimate purpose. You ensure that you are climbing the right ladder, not just climbing the ladder faster. Habit 3 is put first things first. This is the habit of personal management. It's about taking your vision and turning it into action. Covey introduces a time management matrix with 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is urgent and important. These are crises and deadlines. Quadrant 2 is not urgent but important. These are the things that build your future: planning, exercise, relationships, self-improvement. Quadrant 3 is urgent but not important. These are interruptions and distractions. Quadrant 4 is not urgent and not important. These are time wasters. Most people spend their time in Quadrant 1 and 3. They are constantly reacting to emergencies and distractions. Effective people spend their time in Quadrant 2. They focus on the things that matter most, and by doing so, they prevent many of the emergencies from happening in the first place. These 3 habits, being proactive, beginning with the end in mind, and putting first things first, are about self-mastery. They are about winning the private victory. Once you have achieved independence, you are ready for interdependence. Habit 4 is think win-win. This is the habit of interpersonal leadership. It's about seeking mutual benefit in all human interactions. It's about having an abundance mentality, the belief that there is plenty for everyone. Most people have a scarcity mentality. They see life as a zero-sum game. If you win, I lose. But Covey argues that life is not a competition. It is a cooperative endeavor. When you think win-win, you look for solutions that benefit everyone involved. And if you can't find a win-win solution, you are willing to walk away, to agree to disagree, rather than accept a win-lose or lose-win outcome. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is the habit of communication. Most people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to speak. They listen with the intent to reply, not with the intent to understand. Covey calls this autobiographical listening. You hear the other person's story, but you filter it through your own experiences and judgments. You diagnose before you prescribe. But effective communication requires empathic listening. It requires you to listen with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. It requires you to seek to understand the other person's perspective, their feelings, their needs. Once you have truly understood, then you can seek to be understood. You can present your own perspective in a way that is clear and compelling. This habit is the key to building trust and deep, meaningful relationships. Habit 6 is synergize. This is the habit of creative cooperation. It's about valuing differences and combining the strengths of different people to create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. It's based on the idea that 1 + 1 can equal 3, or 10, or 100. When you synergize, you are not just compromising. Compromise is a low form of synergy. You are creating a third alternative, a solution that is better than anything either of you could have come up with individually. The final habit is habit 7, sharpen the saw. This is the habit of renewal. Covey tells the story of a man sawing down a tree with a dull saw. Someone suggests that he sharpen the saw, and the man says, "I don't have time. I'm too busy sawing." The irony, of course, is that sharpening the saw would make him far more efficient. He would get the job done faster and with less effort. Sharpening the saw is about taking time to renew yourself in 4 dimensions: physical, mental, spiritual, and social emotional. Physical renewal is exercise, nutrition, and rest. Mental renewal is reading, learning, and writing. Spiritual renewal is meditation, prayer, or spending time in nature. Social emotional renewal is spending time with loved ones, serving others, and building relationships. When you sharpen the saw, you ensure that you have the energy, the clarity, and the resilience to keep practicing all the other habits. This is the power of Covey's framework. It is not a collection of random tips. It is an integrated system for living a life of effectiveness and integrity. It starts with self-mastery. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. And then it moves to relationship mastery. You can't achieve great things alone. You need to work with others. And finally, it emphasizes continuous renewal. You can't rest on your laurels. You have to keep growing, keep learning, and keep sharpening the saw. The book has sold tens of millions of copies because it works. People from all walks of life, from CEOs to students, from parents to teachers, have found that these principles are timeless and universal. They are not fads. They are not techniques. They are principles that are grounded in the fabric of human nature. They are based on integrity, humility, courage, justice, and service. So, I ask you, what is your paradigm? Are you focused on the personality ethic, trying to look good and impress others? Or are you focused on the character ethic, trying to become a person of substance and integrity? Are you living a reactive life, blaming your circumstances and other people for your problems? Or are you living a proactive life, taking responsibility for your choices and your future? Do you have a clear vision of where you want to go? Do you have a personal mission statement that guides your decisions? Are you putting first things first, or are you getting lost in the urgent but unimportant tasks of the day? Are you seeking win-win solutions, or are you trying to win at the expense of others? Are you listening to understand, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Are you valuing differences and synergizing with others, Or are you surrounding yourself with people who think just like you? And are you taking the time to sharpen the saw, to renew yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially? These are the questions that Stephen Covey asks us to confront. They are not easy questions. They require introspection. They require honesty. They require a willingness to change. But the reward is immeasurable. The reward is a life of effectiveness, a life of purpose, a life of integrity, a life of lasting contribution. That is the promise of the 7 habits. That is the legacy of Stephen Covey. And that is the invitation that is being extended to you right now, in this very moment. Will you accept it?